Hey, it's Todd Guy, the Thrashing Zombie, back with another video. What's going on, vinyl community? This is my video for Vinyl Tag 2020 Quarantine Edition. I'm not quarantined. There's a stay-at-home order when you're not working if you're an essential worker. I'm an essential worker, I guess. I work for the local hospital. Not dealing with patients or anything. I'm part of the supply chain. So, I'm deemed essential. This kind of sucks. My wife isn't, so she's been out of work for almost 2 months now. She's going a little stir crazy. I've been having some trouble making videos because she's always home. My kid's always home. So, I have to find time to make a video. So, anyway, enough about that. I don't know if you can hear this music. I got my first copyright infringement through a video through YouTube. My last one, the driving music. I haven't checked it recently to see if it's still up and running. I got dinged for the Dio song that's in it about halfway through the video. I was trying to mute the music but leave the talking. I don't know if it worked. I'm going to have to check that in a bit. So there's been 9 views on the video, so people are still able to watch it. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. It may be blocked at some point. If it gets blocked, I'll just redo it. But it's Lord Dying, Poison Altars. If you can hear the music, hopefully I don't get dinged for this one too. Anyway, Quarantine Edition Vinyl Tag 2020. Old school here. So there's 20 questions, just like every vinyl tag. The first question is, favorite record from your home, state, or city? I don't own any albums by any band from my city or my state. None of the bands from here are things I really get into. There are some that are kind of well known, I guess. They're from around here. What's called the Upper Valley. It's where I live. It's a combination of part of the Vermont where I live and part of New Hampshire, which is, I don't know, like a 20 mile, 30 mile radius maybe. Something like that. I'm not sure exactly. And there's a few bands that have come out of here that have their own streaming services. Like 8084 was started around here in Lebanon. They're southern rock kind of sound. And then there's the Conniption Fits, which are pop punk, I guess, sort of. Yeah, they still play around here quite often. I think 8084 does as well. So those are 2 bands that you can check out from my neck of the woods in Vermont, New Hampshire area. It's called the Upper Valley. So yeah, 8084 and the Conniption Fits. I don't have any of their albums. Number 2, an album you highly recommend to somebody. An album you highly recommend. So I got 2, an older one and a newer one. Older one, Sanctuary, Refuge Denied. It's kind of like power thrash. The singing's kind of King Diamond-like in a way, but it's thrashy. It's almost power metal type. So I call it power thrash. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I call it. It's really good stuff on here. If you like King Diamond-like vocals, thrashiness. So it's good. And for newer, this death metal band from Arizona, Gatecreeper. This is their second full-length album, Deserted. This is some good old school sounding death metal right here. That's the lead singer. Definitely worth checking this out if you're into death metal. dogs. Number 3, a tip for a beginner. I'm sort of a beginner myself, but one best tip I can give you: if you're buying records at listen at a thrift store, yard sales, things like that, where they're used, even record stores that are used, always check the condition of the record before you buy it. Many times, when I first started buying records, I would just kind of quickly glance at it. Oh, it's fine. Get home, play it, skips, or it's warped. Even at a record store, I took the record and looked at it, but didn't really look at it closely enough. And I got it home, and it's warped. It won't even play. And I think I got ripped off on that. I paid $15 for it. It won't play. It skips. So always check the condition of the record itself. The jacket, if it's trashed, check the record. The record may be really nice, as Naz Nomad says, from Canada, David Michael, and I've heard a couple other people say this: you don't play the jacket, you play the record. The record should be the most important thing. Make sure the record looks like it'll be playable. That's my tip. Okay. That was number 3. Number 4, first record that got you into deeper music. I'm not sure what it means by deeper music. Deeper music, I'm going to switch this up a little bit. Instead of deeper music, into heavier music, which to me would mean deeper music. Before I really got into music really big, I was into music all the time. I was just listening to the usual stuff, like classic rock, the glam hair metal, hard rock kind of thing, Motley Crue, Rat, Warrant, the makeup and big hair era. But this album, as I've said many times before, Metallica's Injustice for All got me into heavier music, deeper music. This set off a whole chain reaction of me looking for stuff that was as heavy as this, and I found stuff that was even heavier. After this, I got into Death. I was listening to Entombed, so much heavier than this. But yeah, Metallica's Injustice for All. Number 5, an obscure record people may not know about. I could have picked a couple I have. Indestructible Noise Command, Paradise Lost, not the doom metal band, a band from the mid to late 80s, I think it was. I think it was 87 or 88 it came out. It was like a hard rock band. They only put one album out, Impulse Manslaughter. But I went with this one, and this is probably the one that more people know, but Diamond Rex. I had never heard of this band until I went down to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We were on our way back, my wife and I, from Maine, for my anniversary, and I saw there was a record store in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and it was a little bit out of the way, but we decided to make the trip because, what the hell. And this was there, and he was playing it, and I was like, I kind of like that. And I never heard of him. It's definitely almost like a glam metal type band. It's a little bit heavier than that, though. It's an 80s band, 1986. It's a gold stamp promo. The music's really good. The singing, it's kind of like that, not the greatest vocals, but they still put out 2 or 3 albums in the 2000s. So Diamond Rex, this is Land of the Damned. I'm sure a lot of you really huge metalheads that listen to all kinds of metal probably know this, but I'm sure a lot of people don't. This is more of an obscure band, in my opinion. Number 6, a group who you collect all of their albums or try to. Well, it's a couple. Overkill for one. They're tough to find. Anthrax, I have almost all of the Anthrax except for 3. But this one I have all of the albums on vinyl. This Blue Oyster Cult, I have every single album that's been released on vinyl. The studio albums, not like compilations, live albums, and things like that. But studio albums, I have every single one on vinyl. So Blue Oyster Cult. Let's see. It's number 7, a band whose second album is better than the first one. I was just speaking of this band, Anthrax, Spreading the Disease. I mentioned before, this is not my favorite Anthrax album. It's pretty low on my my list for favorite Anthrax albums. But I'm not saying it's bad. It's a really good album, and it's definitely better than the first one. Better than Fistful of Metal, in my opinion. Fistful of Metal sounded like a demo to me. A lot of people like demos. They like that raw sound. I don't. I like a more not streamlined. Better sounding record. This sounds a lot better than Fistful of Metal. It still doesn't sound the greatest to me. I don't think anyway, whatever. Anthrax, Spreading the Disease. Second, better second album than the first. Okay. Show and Tell Whack-A-Mole. I don't know if I'm gonna do a non-metal one. I'm gonna do let's do over here. This feels like a thick one. Hey, look, the Crow. Crow soundtrack. A lot of metal acts on here. A lot of alternative. You know, it's got The Cure, Stone Temple Pilots, Nine Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine, Violet Femmes, Rollins Band, Helmet, Pantera, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, Jesus and Mary Chain. Great soundtrack to a great movie. Oh, look, another. Didn't put the record back in the sleeve properly again. Hate when I do that. Black vinyl. And white vinyl goes great with the cover. So yeah, The Crow soundtrack. This also could have worked for one of the other questions, but didn't choose that one. Let's see. Number 9. What album have you listened to most in your life? That was a tough one. I've seen a couple people say that's a tough one. This might not even be right, but I'm going to say Tesla's a Great Radio Controversy. It could be Metallica, Master of Puppets. It could be Ride the Lightning. It could be Anthrax, Sound of White Noise, or Persistence of Time. But I'm going to go with this, saying this is probably the one I'm listening to the most. Yeah. Number 10 is show an album with a crazy story. I don't really have any crazy stories, really. I have a story about this one. This is earlier press at AC/DC Back in Black. I went to our local thrift store, the Listen Center, looking for records, and there wasn't any where they usually were that were worth anything. They had this little dolly where they bring stuff out to put away, and I saw a little stack of records there. So I was looking through them. I grabbed a bunch. Blue Oyster Cult's Fire of Unknown Origin was in there. A couple Foreigner albums, I think. No. Led Zeppelin's 3-record set, Dream Masters, was in there. A couple AC/DC's. And this was in there. So I already had a copy of this, the 180 gram reissue from 2000 whatever. So I didn't get this. And I thought about it when I got home. Well, that was an earlier press. You know, maybe I should have got that. And I went back the next day and looked, and it was gone. So, okay. So, it was probably a week later. I went down to this place in Windsor where I go sometimes. Next Generation Antiques. And a couple people sell records there. And I was looking through this one guy, and he had AC/DC, Back in Black, along with a few others I had left there. The Monkees headquarters I had left at the Listen Center because somebody had drawn fake beards and mustaches on the Davey and all them on the cover. And I'm like, I don't want that, you know. And that was there as well. So I'm like, this must be the same AC/DC album. The Listen Center, they're charging $1.75 or $2 for this, for records. At this antique place, the guy had put a sticker on it in a bag, and he had wrote mint in big letters with exclamation points, and $10 for this. I mean, which isn't terrible, $10. But I could have bought it for $2, and I didn't. So, and it's not mint, because the record's not even mint. It's a VG plus at best. So, but that's probably the craziest story I have about records. A record. Let's see, my collecting pet peeves. It's not really, I guess, collecting pet peeves. It sort of is. When you go to when you go to a record store, an actual record store, where they know records are collectible. Okay, like Listen Centers, thrift stores, they do this as well, but they don't really know. But at a record store, where they know that stuff's collectible, putting price stickers directly on the jacket. Directly on the jacket, okay? Like this one. There was a sticker directly on the jacket right there. I can't get it off without ripping the jacket. I got some of it off, but the rest, it's going to just peel that jacket, the stuff off the jacket. That is like my biggest thing, especially in record stores. Some record stores have ones you can just easily peel off. Like the Consigna Design, the guy that has a bunch of records there, he has stickers right on the jackets. But they peel right off, no problem at all. Record stores use like the price guns. Those stickers are a bitch to get off. Anything. Especially if they stay stuck on there for a while. You can't get those off without ripping. You have to get like alcohol and rub it off, and just don't stick them on the jacket themselves, or use ones that come off easily. It's annoying. It just bugs the hell out of me. Okay, an album or genre people would be surprised to know you like. I picked this. Eddie Brickell and the New Bohemians, Shooting Rubber Bands at the Stars. Yeah. This could have been a crazy story one too. But yeah. Because all the heavy stuff I listen to, and then I'll be playing this. Yeah. Just that album though. I don't like any of the other stuff. 13, a record from the year you were born. I already showed one from this band, but the Wizard calls Tyranny and Mutation. From the year I was born. I'll let you guys figure out when this album came out. Show a 10-inch record or share your opinion. I have no 10-inch records. I really have no opinion on 10-inch records because I've never had one. I assume they're not the greatest because you can't fit the same amount on a regular record, but you can fit more than a 7-inch record. So, I don't know. I have no opinion. 15, share an interesting fact about an album or a song. I don't really know a lot of interesting facts or anything. Except this one, the reason it's called Pissed is because the record company kind of said, you know, whatever, this kind of music is going out. We're not going to really promote your music or album anymore. So, yeah, so they called it Pissed. That's why he sounds really angry on here. Sounds like Pain Train, The Law's Mine. Hard Luck Champion, Loser. So yeah. Dangerous Toys, Pissed. This is a good sounding album, by the way, if you buy it on Amazon. 2017 reissue. Actually, it might be the first time on vinyl. Yeah, on vinyl for the first time. Good stuff. Let's see. 16. Show an album then with an animal on the cover. How about three wolves with horns on their heads. Death Angel, Humanicide. Another great album, by the way. 17. Show an album with crazy artwork. This is subjective to crazy artwork. Somebody showed artwork of somebody, a picture of a guy after he blew his head off. That's pretty crazy. But this is crazy artwork too. Not as crazy as that, but it's just so much stuff going on in here, and you really gotta like look at this to see what the hell is going on here. This is crazy artwork. This is the band of Montreal. This is called False Priest. Let's see. 18. Show a really good album that you can find for cheap. I'm not sure if it's cheap. I got mine cheap. I found it at a thrift store. It's fairly cheap, I think, from what I saw at like Newberry's as well. It was under $10. It's Boston's first album. I guess depending on the condition, it'd be cheap. So, I mean, mine's pretty worn. So, I think I saw a better copy of this at Newberry Comics, and it was maybe $10, maybe a little bit more. So it was pretty cheap, in my opinion. Show an album with an acquired taste. This was a blind buy. It's a band called Sun. This is Canon. I have no idea. I had heard of this band. I hadn't heard of this band, and I bought it though, just because. I mean, it was $10. It was used. I was like, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, this is definitely no acquired taste. There's no drums in this whatsoever. It's all guitar and bass. Maybe just guitar. And some like really low vocal type of stuff. It's considered noise doom metal. Yeah, it's just, if you know what noise is, it's just I think one of their other albums was called Ambient, but most of it has noise there as well, with doom metal. Definitely an acquired taste if you're not used to this. Hey, this is the last question, which is, show your most recent find. These two are my most recent finds that I didn't order anything. I found these at Consign and Design. Sword, metallized, Saxon, Wheels of Steel. Both are Gold Stain promos. That's it. Two I was late to the party with as well. So there we go. That is my Wild Tag 2020 Quarantine Edition. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, or don't. I also have a contest going on. It ends in June, middle of June. You can win $25. So check it out. I'll leave a link to that down in the comments, not the comments, in the description for the contest if you want to enter. Rock on.